Welcome back. Always good to see you, buddy. And we got to get into this book. Congratulations on this.
Thank
It's a
you
big
so
deal.
much. Thank you.
Last time you were on the show, we were talking about your stepdad's band, Foreigner.
Yes.
And how you were trying to get them nominated to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and you were a huge part of helping that because I came on and we showed a video of Sir Paul McCartney, who was cursing.
You got Paul McCartney to say, why are they not in the...
Yeah. What the F?
What the F? Yeah, why the F? Why are they not in the Rock and Roll...
Yeah.
And now we can say Foreigner is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, dude. Come on! Congrats! Yeah. Congrats, Foreigner. Dude, what was that? What was that night like?
Man, when I found out they got in, I guess because it was my stepdad. He's just done so much for me. He's such a huge influence. I was so much more excited when they got in than any other award or anything I ever got. Like I actually broke down and cried when I found out that they got in. And so on the night, I went to Cleveland. My stepdad, he has Parkinson's, so his health isn't that great, so he didn't get to come out, but he stayed at home and he celebrated with the family and they watched it on TV. But it was really lovely.
You brought a picture of him watching the ceremony.
Yeah.
With his family right there.
Yeah.
Come on, bud. That's fantastic. Congrats, Mick.
Yeah. That's Foreigner.
But, and now I saw a post online that it said, it's from Foreigner, and they said, open letter to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Dear Taylor and Travis, we know what love is. We spent 40 years figuring it out, now you guys have two. Please accept this as a formal offer to be your wedding band. Best wishes, Foreigner. So that's the new campaign.
Yeah.
We have a whole new campaign.
We need to get McCartney on that campaign. And while we're here, if you guys need a DJ, Travis and Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. If you need a comedian to go as well, I can do some stand-up.
Let's all get on that wedding.
Let's all get on that, yeah. Night People, congrats, buddy. You wrote a book. This is fantastic. By the way, just the first chapter gets you right into this world. I met you when you were a DJ, and producer, but you were DJing clubs. In fact, I saw you a couple months ago at a club.
You came down to kind regards, but Jimmy used to come to my gigs. Like this is like in the early 2000s, and we'd all leave the club at the end of the night, and people would be like, "Is that Jimmy Fallon carrying his crates of records?" Like you were so.
You had milk crates of records, and we put it in your buddy's car.
It was amazing.
Or cab or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was like, this sets it up. The first chapter, you're like, you're at a party, someone's playing the thing, it's not working. Then you're like, you pull out your phone. And then you take out take the aux?
The aux cord. I think everybody's like either been in a party and been like, I could play better music than this. Have you guys ever been in a party and saw that? Or been in the club and been like, man, I know what would really set this place off. So I wanted to start off the book with that feeling because it's like, everybody knows what that sensation is like to play a record, to set a room alive. So I wanted to relate it to everybody before I got into my story.
Yeah, it got me right in. I'm like, dude, I've been there, and I go, but I've seen you, and I've seen you work your magic. It's actually unbelievable. When I was around that time, I didn't really know what a DJ really was. I go, oh, they're just playing songs. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what the big deal is. I'm so wrong.
Right.
I apologize. I was way.
You have one of the greatest DJs.
Yeah, Questlove is amazing. It's hard.
Right there.
It's but no. Mixing, but also the. What beats per minute, I don't know anything about that. And also what is going to get the crowd going and keep them going and keep the party happening. When did you realize that, when did you start getting your brand of DJing, your style?
I think that, when I started off, and this is in the 90s, actually the first time I ever DJ'd was at my parents' wedding when I was 10 years old. But this was just because, sort of. So they had this wedding, and it was in this little garden, and my stepdad, they were just playing some tapes and stuff, and all of a sudden as the sun went down, the music just stopped, and my stepdad Mick, who you saw, turned to me, he's like, "Ma, go put something on." And I was just so excited to have that level of responsibility in music, and I was so crazy about it. So I ran in the house, I'm looking through all these tapes and stuff, and I'm like, no, that's too bluesy, whatever. I was 10 years old, what do I know? And I see Timepieces, the best of Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
I'm like, that Wonderful Tonight. Even at 10 years old, I somehow knew that okay, it's a wedding, I gotta play a slow jam or something. And so I quickly put it on, and I remember the song started playing, and I remember having this rush of my music is playing outdoors and all these people are listening to it. And then my stepdad brings my mom in for this little slow dance. And there was this moment that I was just it was the first time in my life I felt like I did something right. You know, like I really did. Like
This,
So
I'm good at this. I did this. I'm
yeah,
good at this.
yeah. And so, I mean, obviously, it's like 10 years later, and I started DJing in clubs in New York. And I guess the first thing that I ever did that set me apart from all the other DJs that I kind of looked up to, Funk Master Flex, Stretch Armstrong, all the great New York DJs, was one night I played AC/DC Back in Black at this like super amazing hip hop party where they didn't play anything like that, you know? And I had this idea to
rock
play
music.
it. They didn't play rock music, anything like that. And playing the kind of wrong record in a place like that, you could get like a bottle thrown at the booth or worse. Like it was not a place to.
No, you don't
to
experiment.
Kind of mess,
No, you
not
don't
a
laugh,
place for
no.
experimentation. I was like, I have to do this. You know, it was like became this obsessive thought. So I was playing the biggest song of the time, the Benjamins, you know, by Biggie and Puff, and it's playing, and it's going, and it's all about the Benji. Dun, 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 dun.
No. And what
Right.
happened? Did you get thrown out?
I got a bottle thrown at me. No. The whole crowd, there's like this split second, like the movie where everybody pauses and you don't know which way it's gonna go, and then just the whole club got set alight. And it was like, you know, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. It was this lovely moment. And from that moment, I started playing all this, you know, all the rock and roll, hip hop, all this stuff. And I became known as sort of that guy in New York. And that was, you know.
I mean, that's one of the stories, of the many stories in here.
Right.
That's crazy. I mean, you got to play Biggie before it even got released.
Yeah.
Like the label would give you stuff to play at
Yeah.
clubs just to see how the reaction would be.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I just sound like such an old guy, and I did just turn 50, so I am an old guy. But there were these times when like you could only hear a certain record, you know, before the internet, if you would go see the DJs that had that record. And I was playing this great party on a Tuesday, so the guy from the record company came to me and brought me. He's like, I have the brand new Biggie song. Like, I have to take it to Funk Master Flex in 5 minutes, but I can give it to you right now. So I played it, and I kind of hear it in the headphones, and I like cue it up, and I've never even heard it before. It's Hypnotize, you know? And I just throw it on, and the whole club, it's like, you know how Hypnotize, like, boom, it sounds like a meteor hitting the club, and everybody, 500 people are hearing this song for the first time, knowing that they're like experiencing history, and everybody connected by this experience. So there were really some amazing things about getting to be a DJ in that era, and I kind of wanted to, you know, put them down in this book, along with some other stuff.
I always love seeing you, but I know what that's like. I kind of get nervous for you when I see you DJ, because I was like, that's my friend, I want you to score.
Yeah.
And when you have a giant banger somewhere, it's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like,
Yeah.
get out, Mark, go,
Yeah.
leave, get out and close the doors. Night's over, everybody, we had a great, and then you're like, dude, I got another hour.
Yeah.
I have to follow that song with another song and another song, and I'm like, it's too stressful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you always do it, and you always show up, and you always destroy. Love you, bud. Congrats on the book.
you. Thank
Mark Ronson, everybody. 9 People, How to Be a DJ in 90s New York City is out September 16th. We'll be right back, everybody.